Hey guys, welcome back to the Van de Beek Prophecy. I'm Ryan.
I'm Rodney, and today we have a guest.
Yes, we have the lovely Ansley with us.
Hi.
Ansley's Ryan's girlfriend. She didn't want to say that, but
I'm sorry.
yeah, no, that's okay. Now she's gonna say a little bit about who she is.
Hi, I'm Ansley. I really like animals, and my favorite color is yellow and orange.
Cool.
Wow.
She didn't want to be on camera either.
Yeah,
Not today.
yeah,
I'll
she's
do it for you guys next time.
she's sitting next to me, but she didn't want to be on camera for personal reasons, I guess.
She's fucking ugly.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right. No, he's not wrong.
I'm
Shut
just
your
kidding.
I say, shut your mouths, both
It's okay.
of you. No,
I'm just kidding.
she
I
is.
accept it.
No,
I accept it.
you're gorgeous.
Nah.
Okay,
Jesus
this isn't.
Christ.
This
Take a
isn't
damn
Let's
compliment.
make Ansley feel better party.
That's what my life is.
Okay, get over yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so just to kind of get things going, Rodney, you wanted to talk about the Bethesda Microsoft merger, right?
Yeah, I am not happy about that. Well, to some degree, I'm not happy. I mean, it may be a good thing because, oh god. To anyone that doesn't know, which I don't know how you wouldn't know, if you have any interest in Bethesda or Microsoft at all, there's a huge merger going on right now. Microsoft is buying Bethesda for, what was it, Ansley?
$7.5 billion.
$7.5 billion. Oh my god. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Bethesda's merchandise is definitely worth that much, but, like, I'm not happy. It makes me want to cry. Because Microsoft is a monster of a company, not to mention it's, Xbox. And, like,
You know how, like, Mojang is like Microsoft?
okay, Mojang
Wasn't
Skates
Michael.
by.
Well,
But I'm
Mojang
saying,
wasn't.
like, it says, like, the deal's, like, 3 times the $2.5 billion that
Well-
Microsoft paid for the Mojang.
Well, right,
Enterprise.
but Mojang came out with Minecraft well before that.
And Minecraft was
Right.
created by a dude in his basement. Like,
Yeah,
you
and
needed
Yeah.
money, okay?
Yeah, and
like
then-
it's a little bit different, but this is a huge company that literally created my childhood. Oblivion was the first game that I played that, like, I didn't stop playing. It's the first, like, 1,000-hour game I played. And, like, I know that sounds like a lot, but, like, to anyone that's played, like,
Minecraft?
games as much as we have, not just Minecraft, but, like, games as much as we have, then, like, 1,000 hours is, like, that means you love that fucking game.
1,000 hours is dedication. Well, here's something you also have to think about too. Bethesda was on a roll for a long time. With Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas. Fallout 4 was meh, but it was still good. It was still considered a hit. But then
Dude, okay, so look, I know you don't like Fallout 4, but that's because you liked Fallout 3 and New Vegas.
I liked Fallout
personally
4.
really liked Fallout 4, but it's because I didn't care for Fallout 3 or New Vegas until later on. Like, now I really like Fallout
Fair.
New Vegas. I can't play 3. I've beaten 3. I was never, at no point did I ever feel like I was into it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, fair enough. So the way that I look at it is that they came out with a bunch of great games back to back. Everything was a hit, but then they came out with Fallout 76.
Fallout 76 flopped so hard, and I pre-ordered it a year before it
I
came
know,
out, and
I
I
know.
regretted it 3 months into it.
You and many others.
I was so mad.
Well, here's why I think that this was bound to happen, because Bethesda lost so much money and credibility and stock because of that game and all. I mean, it's not even just like the game came out and it was bad. I mean, there was like, they just straight up lied to people.
They didn't really lie. They said there was going to be no NPCs.
No, they just straight up lied to a lot of people, and on top of that too, it lost a lot of stock in the actual game itself. So I think that they needed a big buyout to keep them from, going under, because I think that they were going to have a hard time recovering from Fallout 76. I mean, have you heard Bethesda really working on much else?
Well, there's StarCraft, which I'm not, or Starfield. I don't actually know if I'm saying that correctly either way, but I'm not interested in that game. Like,
Right.
Doom, the third Doom just came out. Which one was that? Fuck.
It wasn't the third Doom; it was the second one.
Whatever. Doom,
Yeah,
I
Doom
keep
Eternal.
thinking
Isn't
it's
it like
the
Doom
third
Eternal?
one. Doom Eternal, yeah, I have it.
And that fucking game is so good.
Dude, it's so good, and like that's the most recent game that I can think of that Bethesda's released.
Well, yeah, fair. So they didn't do anything. Luckily, they made the right choice with Doom Eternal. That game ended up being stupid hard, but it was
It's super
really,
hard.
but it was really good, and I felt like it was it was every bit as good as the first one, if not better. But dude, like I said, Fallout 76, it's just that's a hard one to recover from. So they probably needed a buyout like this more than likely.
It's still upsetting because of how it's just how big Microsoft is. It's more upsetting because we're Sony. We play PlayStation. I mean, me more than you because you have both. Because you're fucking. What's the? I was gonna say the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but that's not the right phrase. You're like what is it? Where you're playing both sides?
Frenemy?
No.
You're playing both sides.
Yeah. There's like a term.
Two-Faced?
No. Those are like the tween terms.
Oh.
I mean, like the actual term for like when you're
playing both sides.
when you're playing both sides.
Yeah,
good
there's
and
a
the
word
bad.
for
A double agent.
I mean, like, you're the double agent. I don't know, fucking. I can't
Yeah.
remember the term. My mind is blanking. But
Well, you don't really play Xbox as much as you play
No,
PlayStation.
I don't think I've turned on my Xbox. in
either
over a
way,
year.
anyways, so like I'm a big PlayStation fan, and I want to buy the PS5, and which we'll get into later. But like, I don't know why it is that they have to do that because like my favorite game franchise is the Elder Scrolls. So like for them to go like because after Elder Scrolls 6 they're gonna make Elder Scrolls and Fallout and all their major franchises, Doom, they're gonna make them all Microsoft exclusive, like Xbox exclusive. I mean, the good thing is PC will be a part of that. Yes, they will. They're gonna be a case by case basis, as they say.
Well,
But it doesn't change the fact that sometimes they're gonna be like, "Hey, yeah, you want this game? Buy an Xbox."
well, I read.
I'm a diehard PlayStation fan. I can't do that.
Well, I was looking up some stuff, and I saw in there that the only thing that was really going to change, like with the Bethesda, Microsoft, them buying it. And first off, this isn't even set to actually take place until
It
halfway
doesn't
through
take
the
hold
fiscal
for
year.
a year.
Yeah, well, it's going to be like around this time next year.
Exactly.
But regardless, it's like all they said on there is that their games like Fallout, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, those kinds of games, they're just going to be added to the Xbox Gold Pass.
That's not all they're doing, though.
But that's all they have planned at the moment. They could do more, but all they have planned right now is that they're just going to turn those into. They're going to turn those into like the Game Pass holders will have access to now Fallout and Elder
The
Scrolls.
only hope that I have is if they remaster Oblivion and it's good. They do that, I'll suck some Microsoft dick. Like, I don't know what to tell you outside of that. Like, Oblivion is my shit. If I see that, I'll be happy. If I don't see that, but I see a New Vegas remake, which has been talked about quite a bit, sorry, then I still might be happy, but I'd much rather see Oblivion,
I'd be excited about that. Fallout 3 gave me a new perspective on those types of games, and then after that, Fallout New Vegas took everything I loved about Fallout 3 and just made it better, and I loved that. Now, granted, that wasn't all Bethesda; that was mostly Obsidian.
See, but yeah, Obsidian has been under control of Microsoft, and now they're going to have access to.
But all I'm saying is that Obsidian was who made New Vegas, and
did Obsidian play a role in Oblivion? No.
I think you're right. I don't 100% know.
I don't know. I don't remember. It's not worth looking up. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it's not 100%, but like I said, I mean the buyout, they probably needed it. Looking at it from a different perspective, they probably needed
it more than anything because of COVID.
Well, yeah, COVID's obviously taken a toll on everybody, and then not also to mention that Fallout 76 was such a massive flop. Their stocks probably just.
They've been trying to fix it, but unlike No Man's Sky.
No.
Play that. I never got to.
Well, No Man's Sky's really good. I have it. I really like it. But like I was saying, unlike No Man's Sky, they haven't fully fixed Fallout 76.
Yeah.
And like No Man's Sky just recently got a major update. I haven't looked at it yet, though.
Well, and Fallout 76 is just broken. I mean, the way that they established it, I'm
not happy with it.
No.
I do like how it definitely feels like a Fallout game, minus any fucking NPCs outside of the newer update with the Raiders and shit, which I haven't played. But it's not the best, and I'm not happy with it.
Most people weren't. And anybody who pre-ordered the game was not satisfied.
I can definitely
with
see how that would have hurt their sales and shit, but like I don't know that Fallout 76 is the direct reason why they would do this. I feel like maybe the flop of Fallout 76 mixed with the flop of COVID. Because COVID hit everyone super hard, even like super rich people, people with big companies, like, you know, fucking, what is his name? Tom something? Head of Bethesda?
Oh, I don't know his name. He sucks, though.
What is it? Whatever. He, you know, was probably hit pretty hard with COVID, and I don't know if, like, is he the main decision maker, or is it probably just like a board of directors or whatever?
I think he's just like a board of directors.
Either way, like, whoever made the decision must have been hurting because of all the what's going on with COVID.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't disagree. I
It's
mean,
just so upsetting.
right. I mean, I get.
I don't want to lose my favorite brand.
Time will tell, unfortunately. But, you know, hey, there's not a whole lot.
Especially with the PS5 coming out.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot we can do about it. That's the hard part. And with the, you know, PS5 coming out, a lot of things are going to change inevitably anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I'm just upset that they lost killing the Wi-Fi router.
Well, I mean, the look of it is one thing. I mean, to be honest, everybody has had some shit to say about the gaming
It also
consoles when
looks-
they come out.
Have you seen the meme with, like, there's a bunch of memes of the PS5, but there's one with Seto Kaiba's face on top of it from
Yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
I've seen
And
those.
it looks literally just like him wearing his outfit.
I remember seeing those a long time ago. What makes me upset is that I'm going to get the PS5, and I've grown very accustomed to my joystick extenders, which I can probably use on there, but I've also got...
The controllers look like Xbox controllers.
Well,
like, in a way.
well, here's the thing. The main complaint about PlayStation controllers is how small they were.
I have small hands.
Well,
I'm good with that.
well, people like the Xbox controller, and even Kevin said this because he has both too. And I even asked him, I'm like, why do you play on the Xbox more? He's like, it just feels, the remote feels better in my hands. And I said, okay, I mean, that's undeniable. It is bigger. It's easier to get a hold of. You can kind of get a better grip on it, whatever the case. But the thing that's going to upset me is that I use paddles on my controller, and I
They'll
don't.
probably have like a thing for it.
Yeah, but like,
Bad.
here's the thing: the PlayStation 4 came out, what, 2014 is when it came out. It came out in 2014, 2013,
It was like
whatever.
2 years, like a year
And,
and a half ago.
just a year ago, I mean, like literally this past January is when they came out with the paddles for the controller.
Mhm.
It literally took them 6 fucking years to come out with paddles for that damn.
I think they know
for the
better
remote.
now, though.
Well, I'm just hoping that PlayStation will finally have like, because like Xbox has a Microsoft Xbox brand Elite Pro controller. PlayStation doesn't. It's like if you want an Xbox Pro controller, you go to Microsoft and you buy the Microsoft Xbox Pro controller, the Elite controller. If you want one from PlayStation, you have to either get Scuf, Astro, one of the other
I feel like
ones.
it has a little bit to do with the fact that PlayStation, Sony, cares a lot. Like people in Japan, when they play video games, they care a lot more about precision than they do about fast. Well, no, I mean fast and precise. They care more about precision and hitting every note, like in music games, hitting every note the exact way it's supposed to, doing everything you're supposed to in the exact way you're supposed to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that way, not only like when you're playing the game, like you're creating something.
Right.
I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but like, Sony is a Japanese company. You know, PlayStation's a Japanese company.
Yeah.
So like, maybe it has to do with the way. God, my mind keeps blanking. Their culture, you know, the way they play video games in general, the controller, like they design the controllers for you to play the games with the controllers, not adding anything, not taking anything away, but creating what you can with what they give you, with what they want you to.
Well, and I understand that, but I say I've grown very accustomed to my paddles. My paddles are very necessary for me, anyway. Are you gonna say something, Ainsley? No. Okay. Well, okay. I guess. Well, you know, time will tell what happens with that. But kind of moving on a little bit. Minecraft VR.
Minecraft has just come to PSVR.
Which I didn't even know until you told me the other day.
Apparently, it's been in VR on the computer for a little while. I'm not entirely sure on that.
It sounds cool though, Minecraft VR, like, that's cool.
I tried playing it a little bit.
It could. And here's my thing about VR games. I mean, they're fun. It's just I get motion sick pretty easily. And
Definitely do not play Minecraft VR drunk. I made that mistake.
fair enough. Well, I feel like playing any game VR drunk is not a good
It's not
idea.
always that bad.
Well, Minecraft makes you sick because of all the dimension and, like, point of view.
Yeah, it's weird. You don't. It's like you only get motion sick when you play Minecraft. It's the weirdest thing.
It is super weird.
You don't get-
especially when I'm like up trying to like build a ceiling. That's what
Yeah.
it's weird because of like the way you're doing it.
She doesn't get motion sick with anything else but
when I play
Minecraft.
and especially when I'm like focused on it.
So
It's weird.
with not even being in VR, you get motion sick.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, again, it's because it's the motion of like doing everything, and if I get super focused on it, you know,
Yeah,
it's
that's super strange.
I will say, I mean, the game does run differently when you like it. The game doesn't run like all other games.
Yeah.
So you can, when you play it, you can definitely feel the fluid, like the bouncing. I mean, you could see where playing it for hours and like laser focusing in on it and just zoning in and playing it, you could see where if you got too concentrated, it could possibly give you motion sickness. I mean, I've never dealt that on Minecraft.
yeah, it's doing a lot of up and down.
And I do get motion sick. I get motion sick when I play the VR. I get motion sick in cars. I
get
just
motion sick with almost anything.
I get motion sick. If there was a way to get motion sick with something, I get motion sick, but I don't with Minecraft.
Can we say motion sick one more time?
Motion sick.
Motion sickness.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, so I mean that sounds interesting.
Sure thing.
I don't think I'll ever use it.
But it sounds cool though, because you know you have a VR. You can always just see how it is.
I mean, yeah, VR is really cool. It's just I don't know. Beat Saber.
I fucking like it a lot. I really enjoy VR. Like, again, blanking on, I want to say Horizon Zero Dawn, but that is not it. It's,
Borderlands?
No, not. It's the VR game with the shooting. The shooty pew pew.
Oh.
Arizona Sunshine?
No. It's
So you
Firewall.
Firewall
Zero
Zero Hour. That
Yeah.
game is quite fun. It's not the most realistic thing in the world, but like it is very fun, and you meet a lot of very funny people that
It-
live in Australia.
It literally it reminds me of like
Just
playing
like
Rainbow
Bungie?
Six.
That's the only people I met.
Yeah,
I think they
Just
play a
watch
lot
videos.
over there. I'm not sure.
It reminds me of like Rainbow Six Siege, but if it was VR
And
a lot cheaper.
and not as tactical oriented. Like you can't shoot through walls and shit. But
Agreed.
Like, yeah.
Well, you know, it's Rainbow Six Siege. That's just a great game. That's a
It is
that's
a good game.
That's a
It's
story
very
for
fun.
it's a story for a different day. I have some news of my own that doesn't really affect either one of you because you really don't play Apex.
That's wrong. I do.
Okay,
Apex.
you play Apex, but you don't play it like I do, and Rodney, you hardly ever play.
I do play Apex.
She's working on it, but
No, I'm not. I do play Apex.
I said you're working on not being.
Yeah, you didn't hear me. I said you're bad. I'm just kidding.
I was supposed to say, damn.
I don't even know.
I mean, I'm not as good as Ryan, but I'm getting there. Like, playing more often.
Well, yeah, and the only way to get better is to play against
Yeah.
people. But no, so the big update just dropped, and it introduced crossplay for the first time, which is something
Ooh.
that I've been waiting for a long time. Now, granted, it
Now
doesn't.
you get to get dunked on by fucking
And they
keyboard
did.
and mouse.
They
Actually-
were definitely talking about it beforehand, before it actually came out. They were talking about the crossplay.
Well, here's the thing.
Everything like that.
Crossplay has been something that they've wanted to do ever since the game came out. It's just
Yeah.
apparently it's really complicated to do it. But the hard part is like I've wanted crossplay this entire time because Kevin predominantly plays on the Xbox, whereas I play on the PlayStation. So we were never like if we ever wanted to play together, he had to get on PlayStation where he didn't have any of his guns, his skins, his characters, all of his stuff. Right, he didn't have all of his stuff, you know, and it wasn't on his controller, didn't have his paddles, whatever. But now, you know, of course, he's fucking gone. But anyway, it means nothing to me now. But now crossplay's here, and they did say though that if you are on console, you will not be paired with people on PC unless you have somebody in your party that is also PC. So like
Yes, no.
so like
I don't like PC players.
if me, you and Kevin all hopped on, me and you on PlayStation, Kevin on Xbox, we would only play against PlayStation and Xbox players. But like if me, you and Rodney downloaded it on his, you know, gaming PC and we played, then we would be playing against PC, Xbox and PlayStation, which then
Totally
yes,
forgot you're a PC player.
It's
Well,
both. I got PC and
he's-
Sony.
he has both,
And
but-
PlayStation.
but the thing is like that makes me happy because you're right. I would get fucking trashed on by people that have mouse and keyboard. I can't
Yeah,
flick
'cause
like
they can
that.
like mod a lot more than like console players.
No,
Well,
not
it's
just
not-
modding. It's just the fact that literally when you're using a mouse and keyboard, you just click on people and that's
Well,
how you kill them.
yep, and the precision that you
That's
have with a
crazy.
mouse is so much more detailed than you do with an analog stick. There's no
I just
corrections.
like console better. I like being
I agree.
able to control
With that
it.
mouse that I have over there, I literally click a button behind the mouse wheel and I can increase the sensitivity like that. You can't do that on console. You have to go to
Yeah,
a pause menu and
settings.
fucking do
Yep.
whatever, and then it's
Yeah, I guess
a
more
joystick.
precise
And I increase the
better.
sensitivity, I can literally just.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I don't want to get dunked on by those fucking people. But here's the thing, though. they introduced it, and I thought, okay, well, it means nothing to me now because Kevin's gone, but okay, cool, crossplay, wow. But then they threw it in the game, and it's a beta right now, so it will go away and then come back later. But now that they've introduced it, dude, the game is almost unplayable. And when I say...
with crossplay?
And I'm not saying
Well,
that...
it's like loading times and like
Yeah,
the game.
me and John hopped on
Can you
the
turn
other...
crossplay off?
Yeah, but it gets even worse. That's the hard part. Because
How's it worse without crossplay?
Well, and this is something I've never fucking heard of before, but this was the excuse I was given, and this is what I looked up. Because me and John hopped on, we were going to play some ranked, and we were going to play ranked and all this other stuff. But then we literally tried to queue into a game, and no shit, we sat there for 25 minutes and never found a game. But here's the thing, when you looked, it said there was like 400 players in the queue or something like that. The game was not loading us in because there were so many people on the game, the servers couldn't handle more people. Because this is the first time they've ever had to have one host server with all 3 gaming channels on there. So it's like the servers are overloaded like a motherfucker, and now if you try to load into... I mean, here's the thing. I tried loading into a regular game by myself without John, and it went right in. It was no big deal.
Yeah,
but
it's not because it has to load another person with you if you're on trios.
exactly. Once
That's
me
why
and
it's
John,
taking so long.
once me and John tried to load in, it was we literally couldn't play a game last night. We tried and could not even get into a game.
It's because there's no one playing single player?
No, it's because
There
it's
isn't a single player.
There's no single player.
Well, I mean, like, no one soloing in trios?
No.
well, that was the hard part. We no one was soloing, and we even found a third, invited him, so we had all 3 people. All we had to do was just find an open slot for a team in a game, and literally that took 20 minutes. To the point where both of them just
Like a
said,
full match.
"Yep," just said, "Fuck it, we're getting off." Because there's so many people on the game, the servers can't handle how many people are on the game. So there's like nowhere they couldn't fit us in, basically.
Yeah.
And it irritated the shit out of me because they just came out with a bunch of new skins and all this stuff, and I'm like, yes, I want to go here and I want to destroy these people, but I wasn't able to, and it made me upset because I wanted to play. I'm hoping that it'll be better today because it literally dropped yesterday. I'm hoping that today it's they're working on it, because a lot of people were complaining about that shit yesterday.
Yeah, they were also complaining about a stupid tree in the freaking map that everyone was like, oh, just get rid of the tree. And then they were like, oh, okay.
See, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
There was a thing online that everyone, I don't know if it was fake or real. I'm assuming it would be fake because it's ridiculous, but I just kept seeing it everywhere. That people were complaining about this tree in Apex
See,
that everybody wanted to get rid of. And I'm
I
like,
haven't
it's
seen
a
anything
tree?
about that.
Like, I'm confused.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about that. It's just the crossplay. I mean, the idea is there. Execution was poor, yet again. Another situation where I love the idea, but damn it, you could have done it any other way. Or not force me to. Because even if I try turning off crossplay, everybody else in the game has crossplay. Because if you turn it off, that means it's only going to connect you into games where people have also, on PlayStation, have turned off crossplay. And pretty much everybody has it turned on right now because the game auto-defaults with it
People are
turned
going to
on.
learn, or people are going to switch back, at least for a while.
People are going to figure that out because after yesterday, people are probably like, "Yeah, fuck crossplay," because they were just
Yeah, we're gonna turn it
getting
off.
roasted by these Xbox players and all this other stuff. So they might turn
What
it
are you
off.
trying to say? Trying to say Xbox better than PlayStation?
I will say all the pros that I see and watch on YouTube, they pretty much
Fair
play
enough.
Xbox.
Or
I mean,
PC. I've seen a lot of good PC
Well,
players.
Shut your face.
PC's a given. An average PC player is like a good console player.
Yeah.
So,
sucks.
at least on Apex, from what I've seen. But like, if you watch some of all the pros, like on Apex, like I'm trying to think, like Sweatband. I've watched him before.
Who the fuck is Sweatband?
If you look him up, you'll see it. But he's real big in the Apex community, and Alarmix and all that. They all play on Xbox. Well, the Alarmix and everyone, they kind of switched over to PC. But again, they didn't go to PlayStation. They're like Xbox and all the pros and shit. The people that you watch on YouTube that are really good at the game, they either play Xbox or PC. I mean, you see like once in a blue moon, you'll see a PlayStation Pro, but it's not often.
Yeah.
Like back off my janks. He's probably the best one I've seen that does play on PlayStation, and he's ridiculously good, but that's besides the point. Either way, I need that to get fixed so I can keep dunking on people. I want to keep roasting, but I can't, because the game physically won't let me. But anyway, let's talk about something that Ainsley has a lot of insight on.
I was about to say, speaking of waiting times and crossplay, Dead by Daylight has crossplay and also horrible ass waiting times.
Unless you're playing as a killer. If you're playing as a killer, it's
so
stupid.
for you guys that don't know what Dead by Daylight is, it's short for DBD. It's a 5-person horror game where one person is a killer.
Wait.
Dead by Daylight is short for DBD?
Well, that's what people say. We call it DBD, but it stands for Dead by Daylight.
You meant it reverse. DBD
Yes.
is short for Dead by Daylight.
Don't mind her.
Sorry, guys.
Don't mind this.
She got
please.
I like this game a lot, so I'm excited.
She's about 3 years behind.
I know, but it's okay.
Yep, it's okay. So the game was fucking broken back when it first came out, not in a good way. It literally sucked. It was almost impossible to play.
Well, whenever it's at GameStop, like, nobody bought it. It was
Yeah.
always in stock. I always kept seeing it, and I was like, that looks interesting. I like Dying Light. I always get them two mixed up.
Dying Light was a great game, though.
Fantastic.
Either way. But yeah, so Dead by Daylight was broken as fuck when it first came out, and then they started getting better, and now the servers are actually manageable, the game is playable, it's not as buggy, they have a lot
of people play it,
and
surprisingly.
and they have a lot of cool killers. I mean, pretty much every cool killer you can think of is on that fucking game.
Movie killer that you've ever wanted to play as or wanted to see in a video game or wanted to see do other things outside of a movie that they were in, you play Dead by Daylight for.
Except for Jason, and that's only because he has his own fucking
He's got his rights. He's got his rights on lock right now.
But he has his own game where the killers are just variations of Jason.
Yeah, not just that, but like he's got his rights on lock because of fucking everything that happened with Friday the 13th.
Which is upsetting because that game, in my opinion, is executed way better than Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, and if I ever see Jason come to Dead by Daylight, I'm gonna be pissed. Because that means that the dude who won in that court case went to them and was like, hey, I want to be in your video game.
And here's the...
I wish they would put Jason in there, though.
No,
because a lot of people would play him.
No. But here's...
I don't think it could be considered as petty. Well, Freddy's in there, Michael Myers is in there.
Here's my problem, okay? The reason why... I mean, it's cool to have all these different killers in Dead by Daylight, but here's my one issue. No matter what killer you pick, guess what? You always are just holding a melee weapon. Your one attack is to hit them. You get one special ability. But think about this. In Friday the 13th, the game, Jason doesn't just have a swipe move. He has multiple different attacks. He has multiple power-ups.
Well, you
he can
also
grab
can
you.
attack in Friday the 13th. Dead by Daylight actually won't let you attack the killer. You kind of just have to either run away, hide, or get picked up.
And that's another struggle, is that in Friday the 13th, you have
smacked, you get stunned.
There are ways to fight back to save yourself, whereas in Dead by Daylight, if the minute the killer sets his sights on you, all you have is your ability to juke and switch, and if you're not crazy good at juking, then you're dead. Whereas in Friday the 13th, it's like, I might suck at juking, but I have a pocket knife. So if he picks me up, it's all good. I'm just going to stab him with a pocket knife. It's going to drop me.
Well, I know that he could, drop you and everything, but,
Well, and that's
I
the
guess
thing.
you just have to be really good at hiding and trying to run away.
Well, you can pick up weapons. So, if he comes to you, you can, you can throw firecrackers at him, which will mess with him. I'm sorry.
I mean, granted, Dead by Daylight, they all have their own powers and everything, their own stuff, but you can customize it and put, other perks on it, and... I get it's not as good as Friday the 13th, but it's a really fun game to play. It actually requires you to play with other people, more people than Apex, because, you can only play with 2 or 3. And Dead by Daylight, you can play with up to 3 other people, or you can play up to 4 other people in a custom match, being one as the killer.
Okay, and that's another problem I have with Dead by Daylight.
The custom game.
Well, it's not just the custom game. It's that whenever whenever I go to play Friday the 13th, me and 4 other people will load into a regular game, and then one person at random will be selected to be the killer.
I fucked up.
What'd you do?
Okay, so for anyone watching and listening, I just had a realization that mine and Ansley's microphone weren't recording. So
Oops.
It was just a minor fuck up and technical difficulties. Sorry.
But it's okay. You just heard all of Ryan's voice and what we were saying in the background.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try and
Most important one anyway.
more than likely, what's gonna happen is the last 30 minutes that you've watched and listened to is not going to be the best quality audio. But don't worry, from here on out, it's going to be as best as we can do. So, sorry. And we're going to jump right back into what we were talking about, which was Friday the 13th.
Yep. Ansel, you said you were going to say something.
I was about to say, like, because it's Halloween, you know, it's October. So it's like, you know, good for Friday the 13th. He's a killer. And,
Yeah.
like, you know, with all the Dead by Daylight killers.
There's so many other killers they could add, though.
Yeah, like, I want Chucky in the game, to be honest with you.
That would be cool.
That would, like, you just see his little fucking
But no, like,
running around.
his gimmick could be that he could hide in the grass, too.
Well, that, and I also like the fact is we were talking to somebody that we usually play with, and his name was Poppy, but he also was wanting Chucky in the game. I remember his idea is that, like, instead of picking somebody up and putting them on a hook, he would drag them behind him because he's smaller.
That'd be cool.
And then, like, chuck them up into the hook. And I thought that was a really good idea, and I've been talking about it because I was like, that would be really freaking cool.
I think it'd be really cool to see him run around and stabbing people's ankles and shit,
Yeah,
and then
like,
dropping
and
him to
to
the
make
ground,
them fall.
stab
That
him
would
in
be
the
like one of
back,
his
and then
powers,
like
where-
he sprints at you, like he can hide in the grass, and then he'll sprint from the grass at whoever's close, stab him in the ankle, stab him in the back, and then drag him by the knife.
Well, then, like, it would
That would be
immediately
cool.
make them go down. It'd be like one of his powers that he could, like, charge up. You know how, like, if you, like, hit somebody, they kind of, like, move?
Yeah, like he just stabs him in the ankle, and they
Stabs
just
them and
fall.
It'd be like a
But then
down
and then to
thing.
drag him, he puts the knife in the back, the kitchen knife, and then just starts dragging him.
dragging him behind. I mean, that would be really cool and, like, really
That would
scary.
actually-
You see
yeah.
this little shit just running across the map. Like, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I agree. I think that would be cool. I mean, I can't really think of very many other killers.
There
that
was
you could-
one other that we were talking about. I know Chucky, and then there was one other that I can't remember that we thought that would be really cool to, like, put in the game. And-
As far as another killer, I mean, they've pretty much covered all the bases. I mean, no, they could
There's
do.
so many others they
Well,
could
you could put monsters from like Resident Evil in there. I mean, they did Silent Hill.
Yeah, but that would be like
Yeah,
a
but-
sponsored deal type thing.
Yeah.
I understand, but think about how many other copyrights they've had to acquire to
That's
do
true.
the things that they've
Well,
done.
yeah,
true.
like Freddy Krueger and Ghostface.
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, you throw William Birkin on there, or you throw Nemesis. Yeah, you throw Nemesis in there. See, but the problem is like the only special ability he'd have would be like his tentacles or like
His
rocket.
tendrils.
Well, he
His
has
tentacles?
tentacle hands, so it's like
I don't think they should put Nemesis in the game. That'd be a little...
I think so because Nemesis is fucking terrifying. He was the bane of my existence when I was a child because I used to play Resident Evil a shitload growing up, and Resident Evil 3, I would just sit and play that game for hours, and Nemesis always scared the shit out of me. No matter what, he just scared me. He was just this.
Pinhead was the other one we were talking about.
Oh, from Hellraiser.
Aren't they already
Yeah.
thinking about putting Pinhead in there?
I haven't heard anything, but
I
that
don't
was the
even
other
know-
one we were talking
I
about
don't
is
even-
Pinhead.
I don't even know what he would do.
I mean, Pinhead, Hellraiser's whole gimmick is puzzle related deaths.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they
Pandora's box and
have they
puzzle
have they
cubes.
already have puzzle related ones in there.
We also were talking about it,
Yeah,
putting Pennywise in there.
But they already have a clown. I guess they could do 2 clowns.
Well, I mean, because remember, it is portrayed as a clown, but he could be anything. He could be like the spider one that they put in it too, if you've all have seen that. Sorry for the spoiler.
I would
but-
want it to be like actual just Pennywise, and then
Here's an idea.
yeah,
Mothra.
the
You
whole
gosh,
big
no.
ass Mothra,
Mothra.
Good.
Godzilla. Just put,
Godzilla.
just put Godzilla in there.
We're getting
He
a little
just
too
shoots
crazy with
fucking
killers now.
beams. He just beams the shit out of
Just
you.
steps
when
on
you run by.
survivors.
His foot's half the
That'd be a little
His
crazy.
foot's half the map.
map. He can just crush generators. That would be fucking stupid.
That would be crazy.
No,
to be
but like
honest with you.
Mothman or something.
Yeah,
Like
you could do some weird goat man or
Or
something
like
like that.
Candyman that they're coming out with.
They should just put like
Or the Bye Bye Man.
They
I'm
should-
just kidding.
they
The
should just-
Bye Bye Man.
yeah, that movie was fucking stupid.
I don't know what
I've
the
never
fuck
seen
that
it.
is.
It's a horror movie on Netflix.
It's fucking terrible. But you know,
You like not supposed to say his name.
well, they could
5
also
times or whatever.
Bye Bye Man.
they could also do like you know the Trick or Treat movie.
Oh, the
With
little which one? The little
with, like,
kid
the
or
pumpkin kid?
yeah?
We were also, that reminds me, I really want the freaking Headless Horseman as a killer in DBD. That would be so
What
cool.
about like just like a jack-o'-lantern kind of guy, like a
No, but
scarecrow?
like the Headless Horseman, you just see him fucking riding a horse, or like obviously maybe not the horse.
he probably
part,
wouldn't be on a horse.
But like you could just see him carrying around his pumpkin head, and he'd have no head, just running around the map.
And the head would be a throwable.
Yeah, or the head. Yeah, or you could just like hit somebody with the head.
No.
You know how like the plague has her little like thing she carries, and she actually hits people with it.
Or the
It'd be like
huntress.
that. Or yeah, the huntress with her axe.
just
She
choked on
hits
ice.
people with it.
Sweet.
Well, she doesn't just she doesn't hit people with it. Just she throws it.
No, that's a throwing axe. She actually has a hatchet on her other.
Well, you can have
hand that she
both.
hits
Fuck.
people with. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Throw.
it'd be
Both
really
hands.
cool.
Just
I don't know what his like a ability would be, like a special that he comes with.
I don't know.
but
It would be something that they'd think of. I mean, like I don't know. Maybe he'd like summon the entity. I don't fucking know.
The entity's already part of the game, so
Well,
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
That was
I
a
mean,
heavy breath.
Yeah, I know.
And they would put Ichabod Crane as like a survivor character that would come with the pack.
Yeah.
You could play as him. That'd be
See,
kind of cool.
I just think that they should
Especially
have,
for Halloween coming up, because again, it's October. It's Spooktober.
I agree.
I mean, literally any killer could Halloween.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, true. You're not wrong. But like,
Yeah. I like the idea of Pennywise being on there because you could do
I like
you
Chucky,
could you
to be
could go
honest, more.
you could go crazy with Pennywise because there's so much shit he can do, so many things he's transformed into. I mean, you could literally do whatever you want, and then like you can make his face just how it opens up like that. Just
Okay,
little
I think that noise
how
says it all.
Opens up.
yeah, it just goes.
Jesus.
You know what I mean?
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I'm usually not about these things.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
But that kind of goes into like the being able to be focused in the game and like being able to play as a character, and like being hyper focused with playing. I get really into that game, especially as like a survivor, because you're trying not to get fucking caught.
I get more into games like COD, and recently what I've been playing is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Very fun. It's
COD is a good.
yeah.
game.
So COD.
She just skips right over Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I see that.
Sorry.
COD is really good.
So
I mean, I play
when
COD. I don't
when I
Dragon
play
Ball.
COD and everything, I every once in a while when I'm really in the zone, whatever, I like to call it hyper focus, where like my back straightens up, my eyes widen, and then like my fingers are able to go into the exact positioning that they need to pull off the moves I'm trying to do and everything. And I think it's really cool that gamers and most people, because it's not just gamers, but like gamers can get into this mode, whatever. It's literally like a game mode. Like I said, I call it hyper focus, and everything kind of just slows down. You're able to process movement faster and everything. It's literally like the flow state, which is a huge thing in athletics and everything. Like
Or like runner's high.
kind of
No,
runner's
kind
high.
of,
Runner's
that's
high is
what
more
I'm saying.
of like your adrenaline kicks in and then your body kind of just goes on autopilot. Flow state is where like everything seems to slow down and you're able to manipulate your body in precise movements and motions that you wouldn't normally be able to control if you weren't in that state. And it is a high adrenaline state, just like
Well, it's
a
kinda
runner's
Apex
high.
and DVD for me is what I get into. That in Minecraft.
But yeah, no, anything that you do a lot can put you into that flow state, or what I call hyper focus, whatever. I just think it's really cool that gamers in particular are able to do that, because that's what makes a pro gamer. You know, when you get into that state, when you're playing something so much and you're able to, see the edge of a person's body around a corner just ever so slightly enough to be able to get your red dot locked in on them and fire a couple times to shoot them and kill them.
See, and that kind of stuff is when I end up getting stuck in Dead by Daylight, like when I play as the killer, because Ansley and all of her friends will just assume that I'm cheating, because
Hey,
they'll
I
hide.
never said I never
Well-
said I thought you were cheating.
Well, regardless, they think I cheat because it's like they're hiding behind a tree, and I'm like off in the distance. I see a sliver of the back
Just
of
the
one of
silhouette.
their jackets. The back of like a little
That's all you
sliver
gotta
of
do
one
is
of their
explain
jackets.
it. You can
And then-
see,
and
especially
then-
if they're
and
wearing
then-
bright ass colors
right.
in that game.
And then I just look over and I'm like, oh, there they are, and I
or
hone
you just
straight.
see them run across.
Right,
Like,
and then I
it's-
hone straight towards them, and then I,
Yeah,
then,
they're like, oh, he see me. How did he see me?
yeah,
Plus, you
how'd
also
your friend see me?
perks on
He's
and-
cheating, all this other shit. Well, it's the same thing in Apex. Like, that's why, like, me and John, we always play, like, little warm-up games before we really get started, like, in ranked and stuff.
I don't
the
play ranked.
Well, the warm-up games they initiate the hyper focus, and then when we get on ranked, we're ready to fucking go. We're already warmed up.
See, the problem about hyper focus is it doesn't last that long. Just like the flow state, like it only lasts like a solid 2, maybe 3 games at most, and then after that, like your body has to readjust for that adrenaline, so you're like ass the rest of the time.
Yeah,
I can agree.
I can somewhat agree to that because I've actually noticed if I'm in hyper focus because like I'll be really honed in and I'll lose track of time.
Yeah, so
for it.
Like when I'm playing Apex and I'm on a fucking roll, I'm just winning games and crushing it,
nailing people.
And then the next time you play,
and then,
you're like,
well, and then
what
I'll
the fuck?
have 4 games where I'm just getting positive RP. I'm ranking up. I'm just murdering.
The next
people.
10 games are just terrible.
Well, and then I'll play. Then I'll play a game. I'll play 2 games, die off the bat,
and that's when you call it quits.
And then I just go like, "Yep, I'm calling it a night, boys."
Yep.
It might only be 9:30 or whatever, but yeah, I call it quits right there, just because I'm like, "Fuck this. I'm not about to lose." All
You're quite a popular person today.
Thank you.
Fuck
Sorry,
you.
Ryan's getting some calls.
Yeah.
It's the same person.
No, one of them was my mom.
It's consistently the same person usually.
John.
Yes, yeah, usually.
And
John, you cock, stop.
he wants me to hurry up and get on Apex.
Oh my god. If you
Yeah.
like you haven't talked enough about it, considering your mic was the only one recording for the first half hour.
Whatever,
Literally.
dude. Just because it's
I just
an important
hope
part
that
of
we-
my life.
Salvage something out of that and it isn't super annoying for people to hear.
I mean, here's the thing. I like Apex. It's a very good game. Now, granted,
It's also
I'm not talking about your topic. I'm talking about the whole fuck up.
oh, fair enough. I mean, here's the thing. Apex is a big part of my life at the moment. But when the new Call of Duty comes out, I'm probably gonna play that. Call of Duty Cold War.
I'm definitely playing the new Black Ops.
yeah
Cold War.
well, Cold
Oh,
War.
yeah. Alpha? Zombies?
Yeah.
Fuck, I like zombies. I'm a zombies girl. I don't mind playing multiplayer, but
I don't play
Zombies
anything
bullshit.
exclusively. I mean, I have a huge gaming collection, so like I don't play anything exclusively, but
Yeah.
even any game mode in any one game, I don't play exclusively.
I just like zombies. I mean, Black Ops 4 with the zombies, not a lot of people liked it. I don't
I didn't.
understand.
I thought it was too complicated.
I didn't think anything about the game was complicated, except if you wanted to do Easter eggs.
My
Yeah,
thing
that
is
was complicated, but you didn't have to do them.
I just miss the days when it was like Der Rise and Kino der Toten. Just the simple stuff.
Nocturne Toten.
Nocturne.
I mean,
Nocturne
there's
was
a map
little
that's
too
kind
basic.
of like that. With
It's
Blood
just-
of the Dead.
It's just like I said. I don't like all the fucking the puzzles and all the weird shit. Like for me, grinding through the game, getting a good rhythm going, because I like to have the strategy of like there was a good circle. There was a rhythm. There wasn't fucking perks. Everyone started with absolutely nothing. Everyone started at a baseline 0. There were no fucking perks. There were no changeable starter weapons. Everyone started with some shitty 1911 with X amount of bullets. And there was
That's kind of what happens in Black Ops 4, but you can change it if you level up.
I'm saying, but I hated the level up system too. It's literally just like, I play zombies more, so I have an advantage. It was no matter what,
Well, yeah.
no matter how many times you played zombies, no matter how many thousands of hours you put into accomplishing levels or waves or whatever, everyone always started at the same spot every single time, and I liked that.
Black Ops 4 is the newest one with the Warzone additive, right?
No, that's
No.
Blackout.
That's Blackout.
Modern Warfare is the one that has Warzone.
Well, then no, not. I didn't mean Warzone. I meant
Blackout.
Black Ops 4 is the one that had the
Blackout.
first
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale for COD, which is Blackout. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I never played Black Ops 4 at all.
Yeah,
It's-
Kevin did,
it's
and
okay.
he said Blackout was pretty trash, and
Yeah,
he
Battle
said
Royale.
he said the zombies was pretty fun, but
Zombies was
other
fun.
than that, he said that the game that in of itself was just nothing really to cry home about.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's worth $60. Maybe like.
There's not a lot of games
30,
that I
25.
don't touch, so that says it all for me. I didn't.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to. I didn't. Blackout was like the main feature of it, and I was like, you
Well,
made a game just to make
Yeah.
a battle royale.
Well, yeah, and they did that with Fortnite because of Fortnite.
I know, which
Yeah,
is
and then
irritating.
Apex
So
came
like, they
out.
tried to compete and they didn't even do it right because they rushed it and they turned what was supposed to be a good game to trash.
And it got weird too, because it was made by Treyarch, but they had like Captain Price and
Things are still consistently
char-
weird.
characters from the Infinity Ward Call of Duties and the Sledgehammer Call of Duties. And I understand diversity and whatnot. I want to play as all my favorite Call of Duty characters, not just fucking Mason or Woods or whatever. But Yeah.
They do have woods in the new Cold War game. I saw.
Not surprised. This is probably the reboot of Black Ops, because Black Ops took place during like Vietnam, but it really had nothing to do with the Vietnam War. Like maybe a little bit in the beginning.
I don't remember. It's too long ago.
Well, really, it's like it took place during the Vietnam War, but had almost nothing to do with it. I mean, it was like, yes, it was happening in the background, and yes, you did a couple missions where you're like, oh, it's Vietnam, but then above that, it was pretty much just storytelling. Their own personal stuff. The numbers, Mason. I mean, that
The numbers, Mason.
yeah, that
Remember the numbers.
you got yeah, it's just one of those kind of things where the game, yeah, it took place during Vietnam, but it almost had fucking nothing to do with it. So, whereas all the other games, you know, it's like, oh, this takes place during, you know, this particular war. Like all of the World War II games, it's like the game is 100% just about World War II.
I literally didn't like any of the World War games.
See, and that's well. Here's the thing. I'm a history guy. The whole time period during World War II and the history behind that and all that stuff is just fascinating to me. I love reading about that kind of stuff. I watch documentaries about it.
Aren't you a fucking nerd?
Well, it's not being a nerd.
I'm just kidding.
Understanding history.
I really like Roman mythology and everything
If you
involving
like
that.
mythology and stuff, you would like Black Ops 4 because there's a map that literally deals with that.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
nah.
Good.
It's too, and
a
also,
good-
I don't like these futuristic games either.
What futuristic games are you talking about?
Advanced Warfare, Black
Infinite
Ops
Warfare.
3, Infinite Warfare, and Black Ops 4.
Hey, I actually liked Black Ops 3 a lot. Thank
Never
you.
played that
Hey,
one.
you said this
tried,
before.
but-
You really didn't play the damn game.
No, Black Ops 4.
You said 3.
No, 4. I didn't play the campaign for Black Ops 3. I played a lot of multiplayer for it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But that's like I said. I don't really like the futuristic games. I just
Well, we're
something.
going into the future, so you gotta get used to it.
Look, when the future becomes the present, talk to me.
I remember when Battlefield
But it-
1 came out, you were like, yes, take it back down to the ground.
Yeah.
Old
Saying,
school
you
M1
realize
Grand. And
that
it's not even an M1 Grand.
Apex is
I know I'm an
considered
idiot.
futuristic.
Well, the M1
If you
Grand.
actually look at the lore of Apex and where it takes place and everything
Okay.
going on, it's futuristic.
I understand that game is futuristic.
He's
but
generalizing.
It doesn't. I'm generalizing. Like Call of Duty to me has not done future right yet.
It's their own version of future.
Yeah, and I
Yours
don't
is
like their
different from
version.
theirs.
And I don't like their version.
Hey, you don't have to.
Yeah, I don't. That's why I won't play the game.
Play something else.
I do. Apex.
Cool.
I play a lot. I like Respawn. It's a cool ass company. You know, they made Titanfall 2, which was fun.
Yeah.
I do like that Apex is literally all the pilots.
Oh God.
It's a continuation of Titanfall 2.
My mic
I
just
think
went
that's really
flaccid. Yeah, no, it's
Wow.
Apex has all of the pilots from Titanfall 2 as the playable characters. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I like
And-
the lore
Well,
that
and
it came
the
with.
and the characters. I mean,
Yeah.
the person who started the Apex games is Cuban Blisk, who was one of the main antagonists of Titanfall 2. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
see him, he talks or whatever, but he was literally in Titanfall 2, and he's also in Apex. So it's like it is a direct continuation of the same. And
Well, yeah, and also it has to do with the Outlands and the Frontier
Yeah,
War that
and
it had to do with.
90%
Titanfall.
of the guns in Apex were in Titanfall 2.
Yeah, I know, like the Mozambique.
The Mozambique was broken in Titanfall 2, like really good in this game. It's literally fucking garbage. But that's one of those things where they tried to change up some stuff, but I mean like all they did was the guns exactly the same. It's like they changed the name a little bit. Like the R301 in Apex was called the R201 in Titanfall 2. The R99 was called the R97.
Okay.
Titanfall 2. It's the same shit. It's the same fucking gun. They just changed the name a little bit. And some of them they didn't even. You know,
Like the Mozambique.
like Mozambique is still called the Mozambique. The Wingman still called the
Still
Wingman.
called the Wingman.
Mozambique, yeah.
The Flatline still called the Flatline. Like it's just they were all called the same shit.
Yeah. Flatline's my favorite in Titanfall 2.
Well, the Flatline is still ridiculously good in Apex. I love the Flatline. I'll run that every game.
It's a very good semi-auto rifle. I will say that.
It's
like the
not
only
semi-auto.
What? Shh! I don't remember then.
So you're thinking of something else.
I'm thinking of probably the G7.
G7. Yep.
G7 Scout.
It looks like the M14.
Wow,
That was loud.
that was a very loud.
Okay, but not to talk about Apex any more than we have to.
Thank you.
Right.
God. You know what? I could talk about it for a whole hour, but whatever. So,
As much as Apex is really popular, there's also another game that's like become really weirdly popular as of right now called Among Us, and like
Yeah.
it's crazy how
My thing-
popular it is now because like I used to play this game like maybe a year and a half to 2 years ago. and
Yeah.
now
We were
it's, like,
playing
this
it 2 years
big
ago,
meme.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Like playing it.
I remember I was at Kevin's house one day, like 2.5 years ago or something like that, and I saw his little brother playing it, and Kevin told me, he's like, dude, you got to get this game. It's fun as shit. And I was like, it looks stupid. But he told me to download it because me and him both sat at work for 10 hours a day by ourselves, bored as shit, doing nothing. So he was like, download the game. We play multiplayer. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I downloaded the game, and man, I got sucked into it. It was
It's a good game.
It was to
Dude,
the point.
literally like a week later, me and Kevin went to Stevie B's, and you told me to download it, and I downloaded it, and I was playing with you guys, and then Jacob and I started playing it together.
Yeah,
It's a good game.
it got to the point where I was coming home from work, and instead of wanting to play like Call of
You
Duty,
just play it on your phone.
I was like, dude, I just want to keep getting rounds in.
Like, Kevin, call me.
nice.
We'll just fucking play.
Yeah,
Play
that's-
Among Us on the
that's-
phone.
That's what we did. Like
But
he
it's
would.
crazy because it wasn't that popular back then.
No, and here's the thing: I never had a hard time finding lobbies. It seemed like a lot of people played it, but now it's like all of a sudden.
As soon as it
Everybody's
became
talking about it.
PC, that's why.
Well, no, it was PC 2 years ago because I remember I would.
Was
hop
it?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
I would get on my computer when I got home
Was it on
because
Steam?
It's way. Well, I just
That's
downloaded
fine.
it.
Yeah, but it's
on
paid,
Steam now.
It's paid for on Steam now, and so now everyone has easy access to it. So everyone's trying to fucking
Right.
Yeah, it became really popular because like Twitch streamers and YouTubers were playing it, and like
because
they
it
kept,
came to
you
Steam.
know-
That's really what I think.
It's on Steam now, and like I said, the game is still ridiculously fun. Now they've added new maps and everything because I stopped playing it like
Yeah,
a
it's
year
considered
ago.
an Among Us 2 now
Well,
because it was released in August.
they were trying to make it Among Us 2, but instead they're just going to focus on making more maps and
which they
improving
did.
on the first game.
And I honestly didn't even know they made 2 maps until my friend who actually plays with me on the game told me about it. And they're like, "Did you even know they made 2 more maps?" And I was like, "No, when did that happen?"
Apparently,
It's
they're much
like-
harder to play on because they're a lot bigger.
They are definitely a lot bigger. I tried playing like free play by myself, and I was like, "Where am I going?"
Yeah, I got really used to the normal original map. I just got so used to it that
So that's all I can play on now.
yeah, it was just so solid. And then I would go and play on the new map, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" Like I didn't know what any of the tasks were, where they were, anything like that. It just none of it made sense. And I needed to get used to it, but then I just stopped playing the game, and then I was like, "Well, yeah, fuck it."
Well,
Yeah.
it's also just weird because, like, have you seen all the memes recently about them? Yeah. A lot of them are very disturbing that they've
Yeah.
made about this game. Like,
Some of
people
them
have way
are-
too much time on their hands.
Some of them are a little weird. But, you know, the way that you have to do it is, especially when you're a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer or something like that, you have to adapt to what's popular right now, whether you actually really like it or not. So, you know, if you see everybody talking about Among Us right now, and you might look at the game and go, I want to fucking play that. But it's like, but that will get you views, though. So I kind of have to just nut up and fucking play the game.
Yeah, and then you get into it and you're like, oh, frick.
Yeah, and then the minute you're
I
starting
like
to get
this
into it and
game.
you're really enjoying it, the trend is over. No one cares. No one wants to see more videos of it. You need to start playing something else. And you're like, but damn it, I just want to play Among Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
the
a
hard
good
part.
It can happen. It doesn't always happen.
Yeah, but I mean, no one wants to sit here and watch 3 months worth of Among Us videos.
Some people
Yeah.
do. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair
People who
enough.
are, like, really into it.
I guess. I mean,
I
fair
just like how
enough.
you can, like, customize them, like, what colors, and you can put, like hats on, but it's, like,
Yeah, I was
one of them
always-
was, like, the wet sign floor. I remember I used to have that as, like, a hat, and I was like, what?
I have the brain slug on my phone.
I used to walk around with a top hat and a monocle.
I have the brain slug on my phone, and then the mini crewmate on my computer.
Yeah, I'm a turquoise one now with, like, a little plant coming out of my head. Because they're just, like,
Your
they're
color,
fun.
your color's kind of dependent on when you get into the lobby.
Yeah.
If I have a color that I've set, I actually went into a game recently with, like, other people, and I automatically went in how I...
Well, and that'll happen if there's not already somebody in
Yeah.
there. But like, for example, if you pick teal and you really like
And you
the
get in
color
there and
teal,
Yeah,
somebody
that's
else
about
is
it.
somebody
teal.
else is teal, you'll just default to a different color. But if
Which
you
is
join
so
in,
weird.
but if you join in and there's no teal players, you'll come in as teal because that's the color you prefer.
Yeah.
I always just did black.
It's
'cause it was harder.
It's whoever gets there first gets it, but it is they do try and
that
make
or
it
purple.
to your preference. Yeah.
Yeah. It just sucks because like you're like, oh, I want this color, and then every color is like gone. You have like this weird green or like this weird.
That's why you get into the lobbies with like 2 people because they're guaranteed
Yeah.
to fill up.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Or like there's not a lot that you can pick from.
I always used to make my name something stupid.
Oh,
like,
mine too.
I'm pretty sure if I logged into my game right now, I think my name was like Thick Cock.
Like Nut Daddy.
Or
Mine's Poontang 25.
that, or it was like
Add me.
I think that on there was like cum dumpster. Or I had a lot of weird names that I would cycle through.
I've always kept
that
mine as
were always
Poontang.
just gross. That's what made it funny. But also because my name was funny, people just inherently, if they called a meeting, like found a dead body and couldn't figure out who did it, nobody was around.
Look at your ass.
They would look at me and say, "Look at this guy," and then they would just vote me out for whatever fucking.
Cum Dumpster did it.
Yep.
Was not the
Yep,
imposter.
cum dumpster did it, and I'm like, no, I didn't. And then they're like, yeah, that's what someone who did it.
You're
was.
the Cum Dumpster.
Yeah, it was just super
They
complicated.
vote. They're so ridiculous about voting
Mhm.
on this freaking game. You'd be like, "Oh, who is it? Oh, you look sus. You're it." You're
You
like,
look-
what? I just
Red
asked
looks
who it
sus.
wa- Yeah, like I just asked who it was. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean that's why me and Kevin would talk on the phone when we'd play, because if he died, I would just immediately say whoever killed him looks sus, and then that would either backfire and get me voted out because I had no reason to call that person
Right.
sus, or
Which
it would
is so
work,
weird how
get them
that
killed,
works.
and then it'd be like, yeah, we won the game.
There's a whole strategy to it.
Yeah, we cheated a little bit.
No, I mean there's a whole strategy just to it's just mental manipulation. Like whenever you're playing the game, always like if you're the imposter, always call your own kills. Immediately report your own kills, so that way nobody ever has a chance to see where it happened. You can say it happened anywhere, and then you act as if you just walked up on the body, found it, whatever, and then you never say that anybody looks suspicious. You just always say, "Oh, this person passed me as I was on my way to that room," and then that person looks suspicious. Then when they vote that person out and they realize you were wrong, you don't look like you did anything wrong because you just said, "Hey, this person passed me. What was up with that?"
Yep.
And then
also-
the only
Fuck
person that
people.
could say that you passed them is now voted off.
you also never follow people.
Never,
because-
no, yeah, and never stay in the shadows. Like if you're gonna follow somebody, stick right next to them, like you're keeping together, protected. And then if you're gonna split away and get far away from them.
Well, and the reason why is because if if the group sees you running around, like you're black and you're running around with yellow, and then all of a sudden they don't see us anymore, and then yellow ends up dead, the first thing they're going to say is, last time I saw yellow, he was with black. And then you're like, well, son of a bitch. You didn't see it happen. It was perfectly executed. I
Yeah.
was on the opposite side of the map, but they saw you with yellow.
There's some actual like real dope strategies you can use.
Yeah. I say people get fucking
We were using them
serious.
accidentally when the game first came out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but anyways.
Yeah.
So
Well, anyway, that's pretty much everything that we had. We're gonna save the rest of the juicy stuff for next time.
there's no juicy stuff. We're just gonna cut it here.
pretty much.
Keeping shit real.
Well, yeah. I mean, and here's the thing: I could
Maybe.
sit here and ramble for hours, but then we would run out of content, right?
No,
Or also nobody wants to hear us that long.
probably. All right. Anyways, thank you guys. I hope you guys had fun. Thanks for sticking around till the end.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking into this mic for an hour now.
Half of that time
Yeah,
was.
thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome, Ansley. It was great having you. You were
Sarcasm.
a great sight to see during
You
this
were-
hour.
Thanks.
You were terrible. Hated every minute of it. I never want
Honestly.
you back on.
Rodney's honest.
I'm just kidding.
See, and I'm being honest too. Let's say,
All
great,
right.
great to have you.
All right. Thank you guys.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.